The ocean doesn't care about your problems. That's what I think every morning when I walk past the harbor on my way to the bookstore. The waves come in and go out and nothing changes that. Not guilt. Not grief. Not the fact that I killed someone 3 years ago. His name was Robert Chen. He was 42 years old. He came into the emergency room with chest pain, and I gave him the wrong medication. A simple mistake. I read the chart wrong. My supervisor said I was overtired, that I'd been working double shifts for 2 weeks straight. The hospital said it was human error. Robert Chen's wife said it was murder. I lost my nursing license. I lost my apartment. I lost the person I thought I was. The only person who stood by me was Layla. My sister has always been the strong one. When we were kids and our parents fought, she would take me into her room and tell me stories until I fell asleep. When I was bullied in middle school, she walked me to class every day until the bullies got bored. When I graduated nursing school, she threw me a party even though she was studying for the bar exam. Layla was perfect. Everyone said so. She married a surgeon named David who looked like he stepped out of a magazine. They had a beautiful house in Cape Elizabeth with a view of the lighthouse. She made partner at her law firm before she turned 30. She wore expensive clothes and knew how to make people laugh at dinner parties. Then David left her for a younger associate at his hospital. Layla fell apart like a building that looked solid until you saw the cracks in the foundation. She stopped going to work. She stopped eating. She called me 20 times a day, crying, saying she couldn't do this alone. I moved in with her. I held her hand while she stared at the ceiling. I made her soup she wouldn't eat. I told her she was strong, that she would survive this, that I would never leave her. Then one night I came home from the grocery store and found her in the bathtub with a bottle of pills on the floor. Called 911. I held her head above the water. I screamed at her to stay awake. The paramedic said I saved her life. She said I should have let her go. That was 18 months ago. Now Layla lives at Harborview Rehabilitation Center, and I visit her every Tuesday and Thursday evening after I close the bookstore. The building sits on a hill overlooking the ocean. All white walls and clean floors and the smell of antiseptic that makes my stomach turn. I walk through the lobby where soft music plays and past the common room where patients watch television or do puzzles or stare into space. Layla's room is on the 2nd floor. Room 204. I know the walk by heart. She's sitting by the window when I arrive on a Thursday in late October. The sun is setting over the harbor, turning everything orange and pink. She's wearing a cream-colored sweater and jeans, her hair pulled back in a perfect ponytail. She looks beautiful. She always looks beautiful. "You're late," she says without turning around. "I'm sorry. There was a customer right at closing." There's always an excuse. She turns to face me, and I see the familiar look in her eyes. Not anger exactly. Something colder. Disappointment. "You know how much I look forward to your visits." "I know. I'm sorry." I sit in the chair across from her. The room is small but nice. A bed with a blue blanket. A desk with some books on it that she never reads. A small bathroom. The window looks out at the ocean, and sometimes I think about how strange it is that a place designed to make people want to live has such a good view for jumping. "How was group therapy?" I ask. She shrugs. "The same. Everyone crying about their problems. Dr. Chun thinks I'm making progress, but what does he know? He goes home every night to his own bed. He doesn't understand what it's like to be stuck here." "You're not stuck. You can leave whenever you want." Her laugh is bitter. "Can I? Where would I go? Back to that house where David and I were supposed to grow old together? Back to the law firm where everyone knows I had a breakdown? I have nothing out there, Famina. Nothing except you." This is how it always goes. The same conversation with slightly different words. I'm the only thing keeping her alive. I'm the only person who understands her. If I abandon her like David did, she won't survive it. "You're stronger than you think," I say quietly. "That's easy for you to say. You have your little life. Your bookstore. Your apartment. You're not the one who lost everything." I want to remind her that I lost everything too. That I know what it feels like to watch your whole life collapse. But I don't say this because it will just start a fight, and I don't have the energy for that tonight. "I brought you some books," I say instead, pulling 3 paperbacks from my bag. "Owen thought you might like these." She takes them without looking at the covers. "Owen, your boss. The one who's in love with you. He's not in love with me. Please. I can see it in the way you talk about him. He's probably waiting for me to die so he can have you all to himself. Layla, don't. Don't what? Tell the truth? You hate when I tell the truth. She puts the books on the desk and turns back to the window. You want me to get better so you can be free of me. But you know what? You'll never be free. I'll always be your responsibility. That's what happens when you save someone's life. You own it. I feel the familiar tightness in my chest. The weight that's been sitting there for 3 years since Robertson died. The weight that got heavier when I found Layla in that bathtub. I don't want to be free of you, I say. You're my sister. I love you. Then prove it. Stay longer tonight. Cancel whatever plans you have. I don't have any plans. But I need to go home and sleep. I have to open the store early tomorrow. Of course. The store is more important than me. I stand up. My legs feel heavy. I'll see you on Tuesday. If I'm still here. I freeze at the door. What does that mean? She doesn't turn around. Nothing. Forget it. Go home. I walk down the hallway with my heart pounding. I know this game. The hints that she might hurt herself if I leave. The guilt that follows me home like a stray dog. I've played it 100 times and I always lose. Dr. Chun is standing near the nurse's station. He sees me and walks over, his footsteps quiet on the linoleum floor. Famina, do you have a minute? I want to say no. I want to go home and crawl into bed and not think about any of this. But Dr. Chun has kind eyes, and there's something in his voice that makes me stop. Sure. He leads me to his office, a small room with a desk and 2 chairs and diplomas on the wall. There's a photo of a young Asian girl on his desk. His sister, I assume. The one he couldn't save. I wanted to talk to you about Layla, he says as we sit down. My stomach drops. Is she okay? Physically, yes. But I'm concerned about the dynamic between you two. What do you mean? He leans forward, his hands clasped on the desk. Famina, I've been doing this work for a long time. I've seen many family relationships affected by mental illness. And what I'm seeing between you and your sister is not healthy. She needs me. I'm the only person she has. That's what she's told you. But is it true? I don't know how to answer that. Dr. Chun continues, his voice gentle. Your sister is suffering, yes. But she's also using her suffering as a weapon. She's keeping you trapped in a cycle of guilt and obligation. Every time you try to live your own life, she pulls you back. Does that sound familiar? It sounds exactly right, but I can't admit it. Admitting it feels like betrayal. She's been through a lot, I say. Her husband left her. She lost her career. She tried to kill herself. Of course she's struggling. And you? What have you been through? The question surprises me. No one asks me this. Everyone asks about Layla. I'm fine, I say automatically. Are you? You lost your career too. You live with the guilt of a patient's death every day. You spend all your free time taking care of a sister who tells you you're not doing enough. When was the last time you did something for yourself? I don't have an answer. Dr. Chun sits back. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm trying to help you see that you're drowning too. And Layla is holding you under. Breaking surface. I don't sleep that night. I lie in my bed above the bakery, listening to the sounds of the street below. And I think about what Dr. Chun said. Layla is holding you under. Is that true? Or is he just trying to turn me against my sister? I think about all the times over the past 18 months when I canceled plans because Layla needed me. When I didn't apply for other jobs because she said I was abandoning her. When I felt guilty for laughing at something Owen said because Layla was suffering and how dare I be happy. My phone buzzes. A text from Layla. I'm sorry about earlier. I just miss you so much. You're the only good thing in my life. I stare at the message. 3 sentences. 50 characters. The same weight as an anchor. I don't reply. Instead, I get up and make tea and sit by the window watching the sun come up over the harbor. The sky turns from black to gray to pale blue. The seagulls start their morning screaming. The fishing boats head out to sea. The ocean doesn't care about your problems. At 8 o'clock I walk to the bookstore. It's a small place called Tidewater Books, wedged between a coffee shop and an art gallery. The windows are full of local authors and staff pics and a fat orange cat named Hemingway who sleeps in the display most of the day. Owen is already inside, making coffee in the back room. He's wearing a flannel shirt and jeans with a hole in the knee, his red hair sticking up like he just woke up. "You look tired," he says when he sees me. "I didn't sleep well." "Nightmares again?" I nod. I've told him about the nightmares. Robert chins face. The moment I realized I'd given him the wrong medication. The sound of the crash cart. The feeling of knowing I'd killed someone. Owen hands me a cup of coffee. "Want to talk about it?" "Not really." "Okay." He doesn't push. He never pushes. That's one of the things I like about him. We open the store at 9. It's a slow morning. A few tourists looking for books about Maine. An old man who comes in every Friday to read the newspapers. A college student searching for a textbook we don't have. Around 11 Nina walks in. She's supposed to be at Harbor View. But sometimes Dr. Chan lets patients take supervised walks into town. She's wearing ripped jeans and a black hoodie, her purple hair pulled back in a messy bun. She has dark circles under her eyes that match mine. "Hey," she says, wandering toward the poetry section. "Hey yourself. Does Dr. Chan know you're here?" She holds up her phone. "I'm supposed to check in every hour. Like I'm a child or something." "He's just worried about you." "Everyone's always worried about me. It's exhausting." She pulls a book off the shelf and flips through it. "Your sister was being extra dramatic in group therapy yesterday." I tense. "What do you mean?" She spent the whole time talking about how alone she is. How her sister is the only person who cares about her, but even you're pulling away. How she doesn't know if she can keep going. Nina looks up from the book. It was total manipulation. Even Dr. Chan called her out on it. She's in pain. She's not manipulating anyone. Really? Because from where I'm sitting, she's got you trained like a dog. She pulls the suicide card every time you try to have your own life. Nina's voice is sharp. I know because I used to do the same thing. Before Elena died, I would threaten to hurt myself whenever she wanted space. I thought I was just showing her how much I needed her. But really I was being selfish. I was using my pain as a weapon. It's not the same. Isn't it? Nina puts the book back on the shelf. Look, I'm not trying to be mean. But someone needs to tell you the truth. Your sister is never going to get better as long as you keep saving her. She needs to save herself. She leaves before I can respond. Owen comes over with a concerned look. You okay? I don't know. That night I don't go to Harbor View. It's Thursday, my usual visiting day, but instead I stay home. I make myself dinner. I read a book. I take a bath. I try to remember what it feels like to exist without guilt. My phone rings 17 times. Layla. I don't answer. At 10 o'clock there's a knock on my door. I open it to find Dr. Chan standing in the hallway, still wearing his work clothes. I'm sorry to show up unannounced, he says. But I wanted to make sure you're okay. Layla was very upset when you didn't come tonight. Is she hurt? No. She's fine. She's in her room, and the night staff is keeping an eye on her. He pauses. But I wanted to talk to you. Can I come in? I let him inside. He looks around my small apartment, at the second-hand furniture and the stack of books by the bed and the window that looks out at the street. This is nice, he says. Peaceful. It's small. Small can be good. It's easier to keep things manageable. We sit at my tiny kitchen table. Dr. Chun folds his hands and looks at me with those kind, tired eyes. I want to tell you something about my sister, he says. Her name was Alice. She died when she was 16. Suicide. I was 21, in medical school, and I thought I could save her. I moved home. I quit school for a semester. I watched her constantly. I made her promise she would call me if she ever felt that dark again. He stops, and I can see the old pain in his face. One night, I had an exam I couldn't miss. I was only gone for 3 hours. When I came home, she was gone. She'd driven to a bridge and jumped. His voice is steady, but I can hear the grief underneath. I spent years thinking it was my fault, that if I just stayed home, if I'd just been more vigilant, she would still be alive. But eventually I realized something. Alice was going to make her own choice no matter what I did. I couldn't save her. I could only love her. Why are you telling me this? Because you remind me of who I used to be. Someone carrying guilt that doesn't belong to them. Someone trying to save a person who might not want to be saved. He leans forward. Famina, you didn't kill Robert Chen. You made a mistake. A terrible, tragic mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. You've punished yourself enough. And Layla? She's using your guilt to keep you close. But that's not love. That's fear. I feel tears burning in my eyes. If I stop helping her, she'll kill herself. She's said so. Maybe. Or maybe she'll finally have to face her own demons instead of using you as a shield. But either way, her choice is not your responsibility. You have to let her go. I don't know how. One day at a time. One boundary at a time. Starting with tonight. You didn't go see her. And the world didn't end. She's upset, yes. But she's alive. And so are you. After he leaves, I sit by the window for a long time. I think about Alice Chun, a girl I never met who decided she couldn't carry her pain anymore. I think about Robert Chun, a man who died because I was too tired to read a chart correctly. I think about Layla in her perfect room with her perfect hair, watching the ocean and waiting for me to come save her again. And I think about myself, Famina Hassan, 27 years old, living in a tiny apartment above a bakery, working in a bookstore, visiting my sister twice a week, carrying guilt like a second spine. Who would I be without it? The storm. The next morning, I wake up to 34 missed calls and 53 text messages. The first few are from Layla. Angry, hurt, desperate. Where are you? Why are you doing this to me? I thought you loved me. Fine. Don't come. See what happens. Then they're from Dr. Chun. Calm. Professional. Worried. Layla is threatening to leave the facility. Can you call me? Please don't panic. We're keeping her safe. This is part of her pattern. Don't let her pull you back in. I call Owen. He answers on the first ring. I can't come to work today. I say. Is everything okay? No. But it will be. I drive to Harborview. It's raining, that cold October rain that feels like tiny needles on your skin. The windshield wipers can barely keep up. The ocean is gray and violent. Waves crashing against the rocks below the facility. Inside, the lobby is quiet. Soft music. The smell of coffee and cleaning products. I go straight to Dr. Chin's office. He's expecting me. Famina. Thank you for coming. Where is she? In her room. But before you see her, we need to talk. He gestures to the chair. Sit. I sit. My hands are shaking. Layla is threatening to check herself out, Dr. Chun says. She called a lawyer this morning. She says we're holding her against her will, that she has a right to leave. Can she do that? Yes. She's here voluntarily. We can't force her to stay unless she's in immediate danger to herself or others. And right now she's not meeting that threshold. But if she leaves, she'll go back to her house or move in with you. And the cycle will continue. She'll use her illness to control you. She'll threaten suicide every time you try to establish boundaries. And you'll spend the rest of your life trapped in her orbit. He pauses. Unless you let her go. How do I do that? You tell her the truth. You tell her you love her, but you can't save her. You tell her she needs to do the work herself. And then you walk away. And if she hurts herself, then that's her choice, not yours. Dr. Chin's voice is firm but kind. I know that sounds harsh. But Famina, you cannot live your life as a hostage to someone else's pain. Not even your sister's. I go to room 204. Layla is packing. She has a suitcase open on the bed, throwing clothes into it without folding them. She doesn't look at me when I walk in. I'm leaving, she says. I'm done with this place. Done with doctors who think they know everything. Done with therapy that doesn't work. Layla. And you know what? I'm done with you too. You're supposed to be my sister. You're supposed to care about me. But you couldn't even be bothered to show up last night. I needed a night to myself. She turns to face me, and her eyes are red from crying. You needed a night to yourself. How nice for you. Meanwhile, I'm in here, alone, miserable, and you're out living your life like I don't even exist. That's not fair. Fair? You want to talk about fair? I was there for you when you killed that patient. I didn't abandon you when everyone else did. I held you while you cried. I told you it would be okay. And this is how you repay me? By abandoning me. The words hit me like a punch. But something inside me shifts. Something small but important. You're right. I say quietly. You were there for me. And I'm grateful. But Layla, you're not there for me now. You're using what happened to Robert Chen as leverage. You're using your own pain as a weapon. And I can't do this anymore. She stares at me. What are you saying? I'm saying I love you. But I can't save you. I can't be responsible for your happiness or your survival. You have to do that yourself. So you're abandoning me. Just like David. No. I'm setting a boundary. I'll still be your sister. I'll still visit you. But I won't be your therapist, your punching bag, or your reason to live. That's too much weight for one person to carry. Layla's face crumples. You don't understand. I can't do this without you. Yes, you can. You just don't want to. If you leave, I'll kill myself. I swear to God, I'll do it. This is the moment. The threat that has kept me trapped for 18 months. The words that have shaped every decision I've made. I take a deep breath. Then that's your choice. And I'll grieve for you. But I won't let you hold me hostage anymore. I turn and walk toward the door. Famina. Her voice is desperate. Broken. Please. Don't go. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I stop at the door but don't turn around. I love you, Layla. I hope you get better. I really do. But you have to want it for yourself. I walk down the hallway. My legs feel like they're made of water. I can hear Layla screaming my name, but I don't go back. I walk past the nurse's station, past the common room, past the lobby with its soft music and peaceful art. I walk outside into the rain. Dr. Chun is standing by his car. He sees me and walks over. Are you okay? He asks. No. But I will be. That was the hardest thing you've ever done, wasn't it? Yes. It gets easier. Not today. Not tomorrow. But eventually. He puts a hand on my shoulder. I'm proud of you. I drive back to my apartment through the rain. I don't cry. I don't scream. I just drive watching the windshield wipers go back and forth, back and forth. When I get home, I lie on my bed and stare at the ceiling. My phone rings. Layla. I don't answer. It rings again. And again. And again. Finally it stops. The horizon. 3 months pass. Layla stays at Harbor View. Dr. Chan tells me she's angry at first, refusing to participate in therapy, threatening to check out. But eventually, slowly, she starts doing the work. She attends groups. She talks about her marriage, her breakdown, her fear of being alone. She starts to see how she's been using her illness as a way to control the people around her. She calls me sometimes. Short conversations. Awkward at first. She apologizes. I tell her I forgive her. But that things have to be different now. I know, she says. Dr. Chun has been helping me understand. I was drowning, and I was pulling you under with me. I wanted to help you. I know. But I had to learn to swim on my own. I visit her once every 2 weeks now, not twice a week. We talk about normal things. Books. The weather. What she's learning in therapy. She doesn't threaten suicide. She doesn't guilt me for having my own life. It's strange. Like learning a new language with someone you've known your whole life. I start going to therapy myself. A woman named Dr. Patterson who has an office near the old port. We talk about Robert Chen. About guilt. About how I've been punishing myself for 3 years for a mistake that, while terrible, was still just a mistake. You're not a killer, Dr. Patterson says. You're a human being who made an error. Can you forgive yourself for that? It takes time. But slowly I start to. I also start doing things for myself. Small things at first. I take a painting class. I go to the movies alone. I have dinner with Owen. Not as coworkers but as friends. Maybe more than friends eventually, though we're taking it slow. One Saturday in January, Owen and I drive up the coast to a lighthouse. The sky is that perfect winter blue, cold and clear. The ocean is calm, stretching out to the horizon in shades of gray and green. We walk along the rocks, our breath making clouds in the cold air. Can I ask you something? Owen says. Sure. Are you happy? I think about this. 6 months ago, I would have said no automatically. I would have said happiness wasn't something I deserved. But now, I'm getting there. I say. Good. You deserve it, you know. Happiness. We stand there watching the waves. The ocean doesn't care about your problems, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a reminder that life goes on, that you can survive things you thought would destroy you, that every day, you get another chance to start over. My phone buzzes. A text from Layla. Dr. Chun says I'm ready to leave Harborview soon. Scary but exciting. Thank you for not giving up on me, but also for giving up on saving me. I understand the difference now. I smile and put my phone away. Everything okay? Owen asks. Yeah. I say. Everything's okay. The reckoning. Layla leaves Harborview on a Tuesday in late February. Dr. Chun tells me she's going to a transitional living facility first. A place where she'll have her own apartment, but with support staff nearby. She'll continue therapy. She'll work on building a life that doesn't revolve around me or anyone else. I don't go to her discharge. She doesn't ask me to. We're both learning what healthy distance looks like. But a week later, she calls and asks if I want to meet for coffee. We choose a place downtown, a little cafe near the waterfront. It's snowing lightly, fat flakes that melt as soon as they hit the ground. I arrive first and order tea, my hands wrapped around the warm cup, watching the door. When Layla walks in, I almost don't recognize her. She's wearing jeans and a simple sweater. Her hair is down, natural with some gray showing at the roots. She's not wearing makeup. She looks older than I remember, but also more real, more human. She sits down across from me, and for a moment, we just look at each other. Hi, she says. Hi. Thanks for meeting me. Of course. She orders coffee, and we sit in awkward silence until it arrives. Then she takes a breath and looks at me directly. I need to say something, and I need you to just listen. Can you do that? I nod. I'm sorry. For everything. For using your guilt against you. For making my survival your responsibility. For threatening suicide every time you tried to have your own life. For making you believe that you were the only thing keeping me alive. Her voice cracks. I was scared and selfish, and I hurt you. I hurt you a lot. And I'm sorry. I feel tears building, but I blink them back. Thank you for saying that. I'm not expecting you to forgive me right away. I know I have to earn that. But I want you to know that I'm working on it. I'm working on being a person who can exist without using other people as life rafts. How's the new place? It's good. Small. I have a roommate who's also in recovery, and we're not allowed to be codependent. She laughs and it sounds genuine. I have a job interview next week. Just part-time at a nonprofit. Nothing fancy, but it's something. That's great, Layla. Dr. Chun told me something that really stuck with me. He said that when you truly love someone, you want them to be happy, even if that happiness doesn't include you. I didn't understand that before. I thought love meant owning someone. But now I get it. She reaches across the table and takes my hand. I want you to be happy, Famina. Even if that means we're not as close as we used to be. Even if that means you build a life that doesn't revolve around me. I squeeze her hand. I want the same for you. I heard you're seeing someone. Owen. I feel my cheeks get warm. We've gone on a few dates. It's new. That's wonderful. Really. He's lucky to have you. We talk for another hour. Real conversation. Not the manipulative back and forth we used to have. She tells me about her therapy homework. I tell her about a book I'm reading. We laugh about a memory from childhood when we tried to build a fort in our backyard and it collapsed on us. When we leave, she hugs me. Not the desperate, clinging hugs she used to give, but something gentler. Something that says I love you instead of don't leave me. Can we do this again? She asks. Maybe in 2 weeks? I'd like that. I watch her walk away down the snowy street, and I realize something. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid she'll hurt herself. I'm not afraid I'm abandoning her. I'm not afraid I'm a bad sister. I'm just watching someone I love walk into her own future, separate from mine. And that's okay. Thrive. It's May now. The kind of perfect spring day when everything smells like flowers and salt water. The harbor is full of boats. The tourists are back. The seagulls are being their usual obnoxious selves. I'm sitting on a bench near the docks with Owen, eating ice cream and watching the sunset. He's telling me a story about a customer who tried to return a book she'd obviously read in the bathtub, and I'm laughing so hard my stomach hurts.